This 2.7-ton beast hits 100 kilometers per hour in just 4.3 seconds. Meet the BMW XM, the most powerful M car ever, and the first ground-up M model since the legendary M1.
Imagine being BMW's performance division, and it's your 50th anniversary. You want to build something truly special, not something based on a current model. I would go for a sports car, maybe even a hypercar, aerodynamic, a monster engine, and lightweight. But this is what they came up with. The XM, a flagship SUV, aiming at the Aston Martin DBX, Bentley Bentayga, and Lamborghini Urus. But this M stands for Motorsport. So is this a true performer, like its name implies, or more of a comfy cruiser for the Côte d'Azur?
BMW wants to compete at the top of the luxury performance SUV world, a market that's more competitive than ever. Despite its weight, the XM promises unmatched agility. Does it deliver? And what does the community think? More on that soon. On paper, it sounds like a supercar. 653 horsepower and 800 Newton-meters from a 4.4-liter V8 plug-in hybrid. The Red Label edition packs 748 horsepower and 1,000 Newton-meters. That makes it the most powerful BMW in history. But it also weighs 2.7 tons. That's like two BMW 1 Series. And the price? Over 178,000 euros in Germany, enough to buy 5 1 Series. BMW now also offers a smaller plug-in hybrid version, the XM50e, starting at 132,000 euros.
Only around 10% of all XMs are expected to be sold in Europe. The vehicle concept was designed with China, the USA, and the Emirates in mind. And those markets have a very different idea of driving comfort. Europeans tend to prefer a firmer, tighter setup. They want to feel the road. The other markets, however, like things a bit softer. And here, you can sense that compromise. Of course, the car wants to be sporty and earn that M in its name. But especially in the steering, you can tell it's just a bit too soft for me to truly consider it a performance vehicle. That really reflects who the target markets are.
And with its bold styling, the XM fits better into cityscapes in the US or Asia. It's all about making a statement. Illuminated kidney grills, massive 23-inch wheels, the biggest ever on a BMW. And don't miss the two BMW logos in the rear window, a nod to the original M1's dual badge design. The M1 was unveiled in 1978, a mid-engine sports car built by BMW Motorsport GmbH, the ancestor of all M cars today. Designed by Giugiaro, only 460 M1s were made. It was the most expensive new German car of its time. The XM likely won't achieve that legendary status. But its craftsmanship and luxury are undeniable. Everything is leather-wrapped. The roofliner with prism-like patterns and ambient lighting is a real eye-catcher.
The XM polarizes, especially with its exterior. It is a statement. That's why it surely finds a lot of approval within its target group. But on the other hand, it offers plenty of room for criticism. In front of environmentalists, I'd rather hide my XM in the garage. Otherwise, in the morning, it might be covered in paint, missing a mirror, or even set on fire. We asked the community, what do you think of the XM? And we got some great comments that I don't want to withhold from you. For example, I'm disappointed. The BMW kidney grille is too narrow. I assume the person meant this a bit ironically. The grills are actually quite large, and BMW is often criticized or made fun of for the fact that the grills keep getting bigger. But with this gigantic vehicle, I actually think the proportions kind of work. Someone else writes, one of the ugliest rear ends ever. Even the Multipla had more style in comparison. Harsh words.
The XM is the first full M GmbH development since the M1. Built to mark 50 years of M history. But unlike the M1, which redefined the supercar in 1978 and became iconic, the XM leans more toward luxury than pure performance. Does that even fit M's brand DNA?
Back in the 70s, sports cars were all the rage. Every brand had a sports car on the market. Now it's SUVs that are in demand, and more specifically, luxury SUVs. There's also a growing group of buyers who say, I want the best of the best. A BMW X5M just isn't good enough for me. And for this group of buyers, BMW, or rather BMW M GmbH, put the XM on the road. BMW clearly wants to win new customers here. Customers who might previously have driven a Bentayga, or maybe even a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, who then say, oh, a BMW. That looks cool, I'll take it.
So, BMW is taking on giants like the Bentley Bentayga, Lamborghini Urus, and Aston Martin DBX. The DBX 707 offers 707 horsepower from a 4-litre V8, but starts at nearly 250,000 euros, 80,000 more than the BMW. The Lamborghini Urus is 15,000 euro more than the Aston and offers 666 horsepower, only slightly more than the XM. Bentley's hybrid Bentayga has a similar drivetrain concept as the XM, but just 449 horsepower. Starts at just over 200,000 euros. Closer in price is the Porsche Cayenne Turbo e-hybrid with 739 horsepower. But in terms of size and space, that's more comparable to the smaller BMW X5. In this context, the XM almost seems like a bargain, but can it really hold its own in the luxury segment?
Now let's take a look at the interior. When you get in, you definitely get that wow effect at first. Everything is finished to the highest standard, everything is wrapped in beautiful leather, and there's carbon fiber too, especially when you get into the back. It feels like stepping into a luxury lounge. Here comes the big but. The difference compared to other M models, which are positioned lower in the lineup, isn't all that huge when it comes to the cockpit. I would have wished for a greater distinction, so that you could really say, okay, this car plays in the same league as a Bentley or an Aston Martin. In terms of look and image, it just falls a bit short.
The XM is a luxury tank in a tracksuit. Thanks to roll stabilization, M Sport differential, and adaptive suspension, it hides its weight pretty well and remains fun to drive.
Let's switch to M mode. See if it gets more emotional. With a bit more pedal, you get a nice engine note too. That's nice. It brings a smile to your face. But it doesn't blow you away.
Now, let's talk efficiency. Every 2.7-ton SUV driver's favorite topic. The good news first. Depending on spec, the XM can go 82 to 88 kilometers fully electric. Official fuel consumption? A theoretical 1.9 liters per 100 kilometers. But what if the battery's empty? Hybrid performance has its perks, but also adds serious weight.
We reset the average consumption once the battery was drained. Running on the engine alone, it uses 13 to 14 liters per 100 kilometers. That's your realistic average if you don't charge every day.
BMW's official figure is 12.9 liters on an empty battery, slightly better than our result. Given its size and power, that's acceptable, but it's no eco-champion.
With this 2.7-ton wardrobe on wheels, BMW has of course given itself the toughest conditions for creating a truly performance-oriented car. The vehicle is, and remains, a compromise. You can definitely feel that, and it wasn't to be expected otherwise. But accordingly, it also didn't really surprise us. We can place it on a scale from Lamborghini to Bentley. If the Lamborghini Urus is the sportiest, the Aston Martin DBX sits in the middle, and the Bentley Bentayga is the most luxurious. Then the XM positions itself somewhere between the Bentley and the Aston Martin. So we don't have a pure performer here, but rather a luxury SUV with sporty pretensions.
Would a sports car have drawn more attention than just another SUV? Maybe, but sales figures from 2023 in Germany prove BMW right. The XM outsold Urus, Bentayga, and DBX.